Deep within the walls of Vatican City lies a web of secrets and mysteries that have been kept hidden for centuries. From the clandestine dealings of the papal court to the arcane rituals of the Holy See, there are secrets that only a select few have been privy to. For centuries, the Vatican has been shrouded in mystery, and its secrets have been the subject of endless speculations and intrigue. But now, with the world more connected than ever, the secrets of Vatican City are coming to light. Despite its tiny size of around only 110 acres and small populace of fewer than 1,000 people, Vatican City has a budget of millions of dollars and a richly varied history. Reading religious texts from different eras is necessary to see the big picture. Let's take a glimpse behind the scenes. The Devil's Domain, uncovering Vatican City's exorcism secrets. Despite Baudelaire's claim that the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he doesn't exist, the devil is very much alive and well in Vatican City right now. The late Pope John Paul II performed 3 exorcisms himself during his tenure, while Pope Benedict XVI increased the number of recognized exorcists inside the Catholic Church. Approximately 350 exorcists are serving the Catholic Church today. The Vatican's top exorcist has conducted more than 100,000 exorcisms. Most modern people associate exorcisms with the Middle Ages or with horror movies, but the Catholic Church still performs them. Father Gabriele Amorth was the Vatican's most prominent exorcist. It's estimated that he performed over 160,000 exorcisms during his 60 years of service. Nonetheless, the exorcism rituals were not just performed by the deceased head exorcist. Over its history, it's been led by several popes. It was claimed in 2018 that the Vatican trained 250 priests from all over the world to perform these controversial rituals. Not immune to crime. Vatican City has a low crime rate compared to many other cities. However, like any other place in the world, it's not completely immune to crime. The most high-profile crime that has taken place in Vatican City was the theft of documents by a former Vatican employee, Paolo Gabriele, in 2012. Gabriele, who was a butler to Pope Benedict XVI, leaked confidential documents to Italian journalist Gianluigi Nuzzi, alleging corruption and other scandals within the Vatican. Gabriele was later arrested and convicted of theft and sentenced to 18 months in prison. Other crimes that have occurred in Vatican City include pickpocketing, shoplifting, and vandalism. In 2021, an Italian woman was arrested for stealing a cross from a display in St. Peter's Square. Additionally, in 2017, a man vandalized a statue of Pope John Paul II in front of the Vatican Embassy in Rome. In 2020, Vatican police raided the offices of the Secretariat of State and the Vatican's financial watchdog, the Financial Information Authority. The raid was part of an ongoing investigation into suspicious financial transactions and property investments made by the Vatican. Several people were arrested, including a high-ranking official in the Secretariat of State. In 2019, a former Vatican bank president, Angelo Caloia, and his lawyer were convicted of embezzlement and money laundering. They were found guilty of stealing millions of euros from the Vatican Bank over several years. In 2018, a Vatican diplomat, Monsignor Carlo Alberto Capella, was arrested and charged with possessing child pornography. Capella was a priest who had been working with the Vatican's embassy in Washington, D.C. at the time of his arrest. The Apostolic Penitentiary in the Catholic Church. The Apostolic Penitentiary is one of the 3 main tribunals of the Roman Curia, the administrative body of the Catholic Church. Its main function is to oversee matters related to the internal forum, which includes matters of conscience, confession, and the forgiveness of sins. The Apostolic Penitentiary is responsible for granting absolution for sins that are considered to be reserved to its jurisdiction. The tribunal is composed of several officials, including the major penitentiary, who is the head of the tribunal, and a number of prelates and priests who serve as judges and officials. The tribunal is responsible for evaluating cases related to moral and spiritual matters that are brought before it, and for determining the appropriate punishment or penance. The Apostolic Penitentiary is considered to be one of the oldest institutions in the Catholic Church, dating back to the 12th century. For much of its history, it operated in relative secrecy and was not widely known outside of the Church. However, in recent years, the tribunal has become more open and transparent and has taken steps to increase its visibility and accessibility to the public. The tribunal evaluates a range of cases related to the forgiveness of sins, including those related to matters such as abortion, murder, and breaking the seal of confession. The tribunal is also responsible for granting indulgences, which are special graces or pardons granted to Catholics for certain acts of piety or devotion. The Apostolic Penitentiary is known for its discretion and confidentiality, and cases that are brought before it are handled with the utmost care and privacy. The tribunal is often consulted by bishops and other church officials on matters related to the forgiveness of sins, and its decisions are considered to be authoritative and binding. The Apostolic Penitentiary plays a crucial role in the spiritual life of the Catholic Church, and its work is guided by the principles of justice, mercy, and compassion. Yet some sins can't be absolved by this group, and certain sins are reserved only to the Pope's jurisdiction, which means that only he can grant absolution for these offenses. The 5 sins that fall under this category include desecration of the Eucharist, physical violence against the Pope, sacramental absolution of an accomplice in sexual sin, a direct violation of the seal of confession, and heresy against the Catholic faith. The online resource for scholars and the faithful. Access to the Pope's letters has become easier than ever with the advent of the Internet. Today, many of the Pope's letters are available online, providing a wealth of information for those interested in Catholicism and the teachings of the Pope. The Vatican website is one of the primary sources for accessing the Pope's letters online. The website features a section called Documents of the Holy Father, which includes all of the Pope's major writings, including encyclicals, apostolic exhortations, and other important documents. These letters are available in various languages, making them accessible to people around the world. In addition to the Vatican website, many other websites also provide access to the Pope's letters. Some Catholic news sites regularly report on the Pope's latest letters and provide links to the full text of the documents. Other websites offer searchable databases of the Pope's letters, making it easy to find specific documents or to explore a particular topic. The availability of the Pope's letters online has several benefits. It makes it easier for people to access the teachings of the Pope and to learn more about the Catholic faith. It also allows scholars and researchers to study the Pope's writings more easily and to analyze them in the context of other historical and theological texts. The availability of the Pope's letters has also helped to increase transparency and accountability within the Catholic Church. By making the Pope's letters more widely available, the Church can communicate more effectively with its followers and demonstrate its commitment to openness and transparency. The Pope loves to text. Throughout his papacy, Pope Francis has been known for his love of technology and his willingness to embrace new forms of communication. One of his preferred modes of communication is texting, which allows him to quickly and easily connect with people around the world. According to reports, Pope Francis regularly sends text messages to friends and acquaintances, including politicians, celebrities, and ordinary people who have written to him seeking guidance or advice. He is said to be particularly fond of using WhatsApp. The Pope's use of texting and other forms of digital communication reflects his desire to reach out to people in new and innovative ways, and to engage with people from all walks of life. He has used social media platforms such as Twitter and Instagram to share his message of peace, love, and social justice, and has encouraged other members of the Church to do the same. In addition to texting and social media, Pope Francis has also embraced other forms of technology, such as video conferencing and live streaming, to connect with people around the world. He has used these tools to participate in virtual events, such as conferences and meetings, and to connect with communities that might otherwise be difficult to reach. The Swiss Guards of the Vatican. Pope Julius II, also known as the Warrior Pope, was a powerful and influential figure in the Catholic Church during the early 16th century. He's particularly well known for his patronage of the arts and for his military campaigns to expand the territory of the Papal States. One of the most enduring legacies of Pope Julius II is the creation of the Swiss Guard, a small corps of elite soldiers who are responsible for the security of the Pope and the Vatican. The Swiss Guard was established in 1506 by the Pope, who was impressed by the bravery and loyalty of the Swiss mercenaries who served in his army during his military campaigns. The Swiss Guard is made up of a small number of highly trained soldiers, all of whom are Swiss nationals and members of the Catholic Church. They're responsible for guarding the entrances to the Vatican, as well as protecting the Pope during public appearances and other events. Over the centuries, the Swiss Guard has become a symbol of the Catholic Church and the papacy, and its distinctive uniform of blue, red, and yellow has become an icon of Vatican City. The Guard also plays an important ceremonial role in the Church, taking part in processions and other events that mark important occasions in the liturgical calendar. Pope Julius II was a strong supporter of the Swiss Guard, and he saw the creation of the Corps as a way to ensure the safety and security of the papacy. He was known to be a shrewd and calculating leader, and he understood the importance of having a loyal and dedicated group of soldiers who would be willing to put their lives on the line to protect the Pope and the Church. Today, the Swiss Guard remains an integral part of the Vatican and the Catholic Church, and its soldiers continue to serve with distinction and honor. The Corps has a long and storied history, and its origins can be traced back to the visionary leadership of Pope Julius II. Organized crime connections. A strange deal between the Mafia and the Church leads to the death of the Pope in the film The Godfather Part 3. Is there any truth in this fictional storyline? Possibly. Pope John Paul I, also known as the Smiling Pope, was elected as the head of the Catholic Church in August 1978. Following the death of Pope Paul VI, his papacy was short-lived, however, as he died only 33 days after his election on September 28, 1978. The Vatican announced that his cause of death was a heart attack, but the circumstances surrounding the Pope's death have been the subject of speculation and conspiracy theories for decades. One theory that has gained traction suggests that the Pope was murdered by members of the Vatican's inner circle, possibly in connection with criminal organizations. One of the factors that have fueled this theory is the fact that no autopsy was conducted on the Pope's body, despite the unusual circumstances of his death. This decision was made by the Vatican's Secretary of State, Cardinal Jean Villot, who claimed that an autopsy was unnecessary and that the Pope had died of natural causes. There have also been reports of corruption and criminal activity within the Vatican during this period, including allegations of connections to the Mafia. Some have suggested that Pope John Paul I may have been targeted by these criminal organizations, either because he was seen as a threat to their interests or because he had information that could expose their activities. If you enjoyed today's video, please check out our other videos available on our channel.